Blugogi Chicken! Chloe and Zoe, this is our first cooking episode for you guys. Blugogi Chicken. It's an ancient recipe. You're gonna need brown sugar, garlic, and we're gonna show you special techniques on how to do this. Soy sauce, sesame oil, and rice. All right, back to you, Phil.
Okay, so first we're gonna prep the garlic. Here we go. I just cut the little ends off right here like this. Get rid of that. I'm going to just give the garlic a little smash, not too much. Well, that's probably a little too much. But just the skin just will peel right off. Ish, maybe. There we go. Then I'm just gonna mince it. Spin it really quick. Just take me a minute to do this.
And when I learned this trick of garlic, it made my whole life easier in all the rest of my recipes. Smash the garlic, crack it, and the skin peels right off.
Oh,
Good
right,
tip, Phil.
Right off.
I like how you hold your stuff too with your fingernails. You're able to get the knife right up in there.
Yep, make sure you don't cut off your fingers. If you hold your knife like this and your fingers like this, it's pretty much a guarantee that you're not going to cut your fingers off. It's totally awkward, but if you practice, it gets easier. I worked as a prep cook in a kitchen for some guy when I was in college, and he was really anal retentive about super tasty. So now we're just going to do the chicken really quick, and there's definitely a way to do chicken. I mean, if you're throwing your chicken breasts and cooking them just like they are, in my opinion, it's kind of nasty. So same person, when I worked in I was in a kitchen, I had to prep a lot of chicken breasts for the kitchen, and there's definitely a way to do this. So you kind of like spread your breast out. And then you have all this gross stuff on the end. So I'm just going to cut all that off. Just like that. Then flip it over. Get that one off. There's a little nub here, and I couldn't even believe this, but they showed me how to do it. There's a little nub. You cut that little guy off. And then there's a bunch of nastiness right here. And so I'll just take that totally out of there.
So how do you know what to cut off? Is just the white stuff, or is there certain markings?
Well,
in the chicken?
if you look at this, like if you actually pull your breast, you're going to end up with this end, and it's like this nasty tendony end. So
oh, it's a tendon. Okay, so
yeah,
we're cutting off a tendon.
tendons, and then there's like the parts that I cut off before, the fat and the stuff. Nobody wants to eat that crap, so I'm going to take it off. So I mean, that's pretty clean. No, that's what we want. Especially in chicken that you're not going to see, like if you're breading it and stuff like that. I just hate fat, so I'm just going to take it out. And some things it's okay, like steaks and stuff, but too much is too much.
Well, how about that red mark? Is that okay?
I think that's kind of whatever.
Is that part of the chicken, or do you cut that out?
Little blood thing, and just take it off.
Okay.
There we go. So then that one, just take that right off of there. That little thing. And same thing, I'm just gonna take off this little corner piece. It's got like the tendons and the ligaments and yuckiness.
Now, what's the texture of a tendon?
It's gonna be like gristle. You're gonna bite into it, and it's gonna be like, like hard and chewy and disgusting. So then because these breasts, breasts are kind of thick, they're not going to cook evenly. I'm just going to spread it out, and one's going to end up smaller. I'm just going to hold my hand under it. I'm just going to cut that sucker right in half, just like that. And if you hold your hand on top of it, you can kind of feel where the knife is. So that's what you're going to end up with. 2 pieces. Just going to throw that on there.
Now, how long do we let this marinate for?
Well, we're going to leave this in here until the rice is almost done.
Okay.
And rice takes about 30 to 40 minutes, I would say. And so we're going to leave this in here for probably about 30 minutes and let it marinate while we make the rice. So that's why we're doing this first.
All right, so now we have learned how to do chicken breast and garlics. Great tips, and then we will finish with the rice and show the end product.
So that's what we got.
All right, we're ready for the rice part of it. It is 1 cup of rice to 2 cups of water. And just a trick that I learned from Phil is you really need to rinse out your rice. And you rinse and rinse and rinse until the water becomes clear. This helps get all the yuck out of it. You never know what comes in rice or where the rice came from. And anything that might be in there kind of floats to the top. But this looks pretty good. And then 2 cups of water. 1, 2. And then this episode, we are going to, I just like to see if there's anything gross in there. It looks good. And then 30 minutes.
So our rice is just about done, so we're gonna start cooking our chicken. The chicken should probably take maybe 5 to 10 minutes. I'm gonna broil it, so it has kind of a broiled taste, a charcoaly kind of taste. Since I don't have, the barbecue, it's not barbecue season, and it's not, I don't have a fire grill, so we're gonna broil it. I'm just gonna kind of drain the juices off, kind of lay them out.
It smells even better now.
It does smell good, huh? It's just like when you put the garlic and the sesame seed oil and the soy sauce together, it does have a good smell. They don't really smell like anything by themselves, but when you do put them together, it does smell good.
It's a very unique smell.
Yeah, it's 30 minutes should have been plenty for this. They have a nice color to them. And
explain that. What does that mean when something has a nice color to it?
well, like it obviously got into the meats because it's kind of, it's more brown and stuff. It looks like it's soaked in, so it should be pretty good. So I'm just gonna start the broiler. Oh crap! Cut that out. Let's see. Let's start to do it again. I'm just gonna kind of let that warm up for just a second.
Like how long? When you say just a second, how long should you let
I
your
would say, until your elements are red. Because really what I want to do here is like with steaks and stuff, there's only a couple ways to do them, and that's either to pan fry them or broil them. You should never bake steaks. Definitely you can bake chicken, but for this purpose, it's way better if you get a little charcoal on them. So, you still want them to be juicy, and you don't want them to be completely dry. So what I'm trying to do here is I'm trying to cook this as fast as I can on the outside and let it still be kind of tender and juicy in the middle. And so thus I'm going to broil my food. And that's usually why you would want to use a broiler, is if you want to cook something fast on the outside, but leave it kind of juicy in the middle, like a steak. Maybe you want your steak medium rare, but you want it to have a little crisp on the outside. This is how you're gonna do it, is with the broiler. A lot of people don't use their broiler, but I use my broiler for everything.
And when they say the element is red, that is the color that it should be.
Yep. So now we're just gonna pop these in. And with a broiler, You really want to leave the door open. You don't want to close it. It's not like baking. You don't want your element to get cool while you're cooking. You want it to be as hot as possible. So thus I'm just gonna let the thing burn full speed and have it go as hot as possible. And like I said, this should take maybe 5 to 7 minutes to cook it. And then it's pretty much ready to go. We're just gonna throw it with some rice. And good to go. So another thing I'm going to do here is I'm going to cook this marinade, and I'm just going to reduce it a little bit.
What exactly does reduce mean, Phil?
That means I'm going to cook out some of the liquid. There's a couple ways to thicken things, and then one would be to reduce it. Another way would be to add a roux, which is with basically flour and butter. And anytime you're going to put flour into a liquid, you really need to cook it, otherwise it's going to be disgusting. If you're just putting plain flour into your gravy on Thanksgiving or Christmas, that's one reason why it's going to be disgusting. It's because you didn't do that. If you're not cooking your flour first, it's not going to be good. But in this case, all I'm going to do is reduce it. And don't eat that.
No, I'm not. I'm showing the thickness of it.
And the reason I'm going to reduce this is because I just marinated it with chicken, and so you can't eat it raw. So I'm going to cook it to maybe get a little of the moisture out of it and reduce it so it's a little bit thickened. Plus, I'm going to cook it to kill any germs from that was in it.
So what are you gonna cook it on?
So I'm just gonna simmer it, and probably on my cooktop here, that would probably be about medium with 5.56.
And for how long do we do this for?
I'm just gonna do it for a couple minutes to get it to boil, and then just like I said, just to get a little of the moisture out and reduce it to give it a tiny little bit more flavor, but it already will have a pretty good flavor. Plus it'll cook the garlic and give it some more garlic flavor, which will be good.
And does that thicken it up?
It will thicken it up a little bit, but you don't want to do it that too much in this case because it's already going to have a strong flavor, and that's what you're trying to do, is trying to increase the flavor of something. Any kind of meat that you cooked, especially roasts or steaks, you can make a gravy with the stuff that's left over, and it's usually pretty good. Okay, so that took about maybe 30 minutes, and it should be pretty tasty. So I'm just gonna throw it on a plate. We got our chicken breast. Like I said, it's a little crisp on the outside. It should be nice and juicy in the middle. I cooked them, like I said, for about 7 minutes, about 3.5 minutes on each side. And if this was dinner, I probably would have made some vegetables, but since I'm feeling lazy and it's just lunchtime, I'm just making it with a little chicken, a little rice. And then I'm just gonna get a spoon here. I'm just gonna take a little bit of the sauce because, like I said, it should be kind of strong, and just drizzle it over the rice. Try to get a little bit of garlic in there. And there you have it.
Good job, Phil.
Blugogi Chicken.